Hey guys, Mantis Metals again. This is essentially my first off eBay organic purchase from Instagram. I was pretty freaking surprised. So this is, my wife actually wrote this up because her handwriting's way better than mine. But I did sign it with a signature and what have you. So that is going out in the mail tomorrow to an Instagram follower. Again, the support has been amazing. So you are going to see my attempt at sterling and a few mishaps along the way with it. So yeah, happy Thanksgiving for everyone that is celebrating it. I am stuffed to the brim. Oop, super epic fail. Alright, so everyone knows and loves this bar, yada yada. I misstamped it. We're gonna give it a second go. So, here we go. So, master of two torches here. No, I'm just kidding. My buddy let me borrow his torch, which is Honest Gold guy here in Spokane Valley. He hooks me up with all my silver. This is actually going to be his sterling. This one's a pure. This is the two ounce melt that I just showed you guys. But he wanted to see what I could do with sterling. Honestly, it is a little... I don't know. It's tricky. Super tricky. Pure silver's way easier. That's for sure. So, excuse my neighbor's dogs. They're apparently freaking out with each other. So, yeah. The two torches was sweet. I was able to melt down 2 ounces easily in a quick amount of time. So, this is me just picking up the stragglers. A lot of times when you melt it, it will splatter all over. So, I try to roll that bead around once I get it and pick up any stragglers along the way. Now, you always want to heat your tip, get it red hot right on the spout where you're going to be pouring. I always deflect it right off the spout into my mold, which you'll see here in a second. The reason I do that is you want your mold hot, like it doesn't have to be ridiculously red hot, but you want it hot so that the metal flows into it better. This brick that it's on is right next to a window. It gets cold, so I always make sure I preheat it even before I start recording. So I just cut it down. You guys don't want to see 10 minutes of me melting down the silver because that's pretty boring and nobody will want to watch anymore. So I hand cut this mold and I've been having issues lately with bars getting stuck in the mold, and it's a little bit annoying. I ended up smoothing it out after recording everything today, so shouldn't have that problem anymore. But the bar before this got stuck, this bar got stuck. Both attempts at sterling got stuck in there. I had to literally pry it out with pliers. It was pretty stupid. So, one of these days I'll remember to unmute my mic so you can hear my quench. I know people like to hear that stuff, so I will try to oblige. Okay, so here is the remelted version with glass all over it, of course. So this will go into the muriatic acid. It's what I use to eat off the glass so I don't have to take any of my silver off, and I keep all the detail on it. I would not suggest using or messing with muriatic acid unless you know what you're doing. Seriously, it is nasty stuff. Speaking of unmuted camera, I was talking during this entire segment and the camera was muted. So that's pretty sweet. So I think in retrospect, if I would have stopped right there at 2.09, I would have had much better results. That one extra piece, believe it or not, I think is what screwed me over. So I was surprised with how easily it melted, but you see that brand new melting dish right there is about to get all kinds of copper and other crap stuck on it that I was not expecting. I should have, like an idiot, didn't think about it though. So I'm pretty sure this crucible's ruined. I melted a small piece of silver onto it, and when it was done, it had a little bit of I don't know, like a copper film almost on it. So I'm gonna have to melt down a few pieces of just, I guess, silver that's got laying around. I'm gonna have to contaminate it and refine it or do something with it when I'm done to try to clean out this dish, or I'll just buy another one. Not really sure yet. So you can see this sterling melts down surprisingly quick, but with the copper in it, it acts really freaking weird, especially compared to pure silver. Pure silver is like easy, honestly, in comparison to trying to pour sterling. I was not expecting it. I went and watched one of Silver Dragon's videos about pouring sterling, and it was he had a much better turnout than I did. What's weird is as soon as you take the torch off of that sterling, it starts flopping around and spreading out and acting just really strange. Where pure silver tends to just kind of, sit there and solidify, where this stuff will spread out. You can see it kind of like, I don't know, I guess breathing is the best term for it. Excuse me. I ate a lot of food. Got the hiccups. So yeah, I put a little borax on there just to clean it. It had a lot of gunk floating on the top. So the borax, if you sprinkle it on the bead, will clean it, I guess is the best way. It makes it shiny. A lot shinier than it would be otherwise. Little did I know, sterling comes out of the pot looking like a turd. So yeah, here's that pour. Oh, it looked great until that second when it turned into iron, apparently. I don't know what that is. It's just like straight up oxidation on it. But now you get to see me fumble. I wish I had some old-timey like type music, because it would be perfect. I fumbled with this thing for, I think, like 4 or 5 minutes before I finally just said, screw it. I'm going to... See there, I'm just trying to put a little water on it maybe to shrink it down. But nope, did not like that. It did not like me. We did not get along. I finally just said, all right, you son of B, I'm going to pry you out of there. In retrospect, I should have probably kept this bar, to be honest. There you see me just sitting there kind of defeated, like, well, what am I going to do now? So here's where I say screw it and just pry it out. That's the joys of a hand-cut mold there. If you incuse even one corner, you'll lock your bars in. So yeah, big old poop emoji for that one. I didn't even show it off, and I really should have. Now this one is me trying to clean that crucible with my little piece of silver. I don't know, it was just an extra piece I had. But you can see all that crap floating around on the top of it. I tried as hard as I could to clean this crucible out. Could not really get it. See that big black spot at the bottom? Once I take the torch off, you'll see I'm trying to clean up any of the gunk that I left on it. There's one big bead in there. I would suggest a graphite rod for anyone that doesn't have one. It tends to make impurities or excess borax stick to the rod, whereas silver and stuff will kind of roll off of it in a sense. So yeah, here I'll just fumble around with it for a while. In this shot, you can see I've got borax in there, but you can see on the right-hand side of your screen that it is pretty gross. So I'm going to call this one the elephant turd. This is my sterling after the muriatic dip. It was like a good bar, and then it just kind of like split open and started like leaking all over the place. And this is what we were left with. I think the small amount of copper in it solidified on the outside, and then it just split, I don't know, like a blister, and it just kept leaking out. So there you can see, I believe that's iron and copper that is now stuck in my crucible forever. I've glassed it over. There's a lot of glass over the top of it from the borax, so I think that it's going to keep it, I don't know, like a barrier between it. But now I'm honestly worried about melting my pure stuff in it, so for my next pours, until I feel good about it, it's going to be out of that little crucible again, which is a real trooper. That thing's been with me for years. It's melted ounces of gold and silver I can't even tell you. There's like 3 or 4 cracks all the way along it that are just glassed over with borax. It's held together forever. I couldn't be happier. It's got like a Family Crest shield on the back of it if anyone's looking for that brand. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a good brand. So this is going to be my next project. There is a certain YouTuber out there by the name of Silver Mac who gave me a shout out this weekend and gained me, I don't even know how many subscribers so far. He didn't have to do that. I was super shocked when he did. So this is going to be poured into something for him. So later, guys. Don't have too much fun.